In the interest of being of service, um, I did make that last video about saying about the whole fact that the news is plastered with this IRS thing. Is that you watch it with the volume off? The idea is right. Any attempt that anyone can be fucked with by the IRS at any time by the government. It's just and that's one of the problems with would be one of the problems with founding any kind of organization. Let's say you seeing this video game player, like, want to form a group or an organization or a party or something, right? That is about something. Maybe the mainstream perceives as radical, but it's like correct. Okay, like right at any time, like that's how they fuck with. You can get just tied up with all kinds of things like IRS audits of your organization. There's 1,000 things that can be deployed against you. The main one would be like IRS investigations, and that is how a lot of these like sort of like far right wing people who are a little nuts like ended up blowing their brains out. Well, here's the thing: is there a solution to such a problem? If you're like founding an organization or something, as you know, writing a story about such a thing, it's a fictionalized story. But no, like in reality, what's up with that? I'll tell you what's up with that. I'll tell you what's up with that. You know, there's an organization called PETA. It's for like it's an animal rights organization that's concerned about the treatment, that animals are treated humanely. It's called PETA. It's a mainstream organization, okay? It has been, I mean, it's almost like, I would say almost known, but assumed that the ALF, the group that does like, that these are the ones that break into, that actually do liberate animals, like break into the labs at like MIT and like free all the monkeys and stuff. The ones who do like basically like types of what would be called, they are labeled as a terrorist organization like by our government. The ALF is like the hardcore animal liberation front, like breaking all kinds of laws, sabotaging, wrecking offices. Like it's sort of the unspoken but known that like that's just that is some kind of underground wing of PETA. And you meet the nice like woman who runs PETA. It's like, I don't know such things. Like that's some kind of organization. They're labeled by our government as a terrorist organization. Letting monkeys out of labs and actually going and in incredible harm to they've targeted the homes of people who own actually gone to the homes of people who own those like animal laboratories. I mean, do real actions that our government has labeled them as terrorists. It's just known that that's sort of a wing of PETA, but there's no evidence of it and there's no trace of it. And she would say like she when runs PETA is just like I don't know, no, run an organization for the humane treatment of animals. Like I know nothing of terrorist organizations. That I mean that's the thing. It's like a wing of an you would have an organization that's very mainstream, but it has a wing that's like underground. Would probably be the way to found a party that was radical from the mainstream perspective, is make some kind of organization that is essentially are just concerned about such and such issue and it's no big deal, nothing to target, and then it has like a sort of like terrorist wing that like you did they or a wing that they didn't, or a radical or just a radicalized wing that is like, oh no, that's just some loose network of people that get ideas and I don't know who that is. No, they're not part of our organization. That would be the way that would be done. By the way, all nonviolent. I'm not condoning like violent things. What I'm saying, that's one of those things where it's just known. There's an underground wing of something or a radicalized wing of something that does get its funding or does get something from them, but there's no evidence of it. Just a mainstream organization that does something mainstream. That other thing has nothing to do with it. I mean, that would be the way to have a radical party or organization. There'd be an organization on top of it that appeared to be mainstream.